What's up, Yoda Force? My name is Claudia, and this is my 2018 Toyota 4Runner SR5 Premium. Grew up camping. I loved hiking. I used to be a kayaker, and then I got a dog. And a lot of those sports didn't really allow me to bring Kala with me. So I bought the 4Runner, which was awesome for him because I could travel with him everywhere. I hated leaving him home. He gets super anxious when I'm not around. That's why I got into overlanding. I used to do a lot of international travel. So once I got Kala, it kind of pulled me away, and I started focusing more on exploring like everything I possibly could in the US. And I got to do it with Kala, which is really awesome. I picked the Toyota 4Runner. It's really funny. This is the second 4Runner I had. I honestly picked it because the back window rolls down, which was perfect for my dogs. I picked that over a Tacoma or a Tundra because you have that cab space within the car to have your dogs with you. He sleeps in the car. I don't bring him up in the tent with me. So it's nice for him to have, he's a big dog, so it's nice for him to have all that room. So my front bumper is a C4 fabrication Low Pro with the high clearance editions. I love it. It was actually, the Low Pro bumper was the second thing that I did to my vehicle besides the rooftop tent. I think it added a little bit of a more rugged look and added some protection when I was off-roading. I noticed that I was cracking my front plastic bumper, and that's when I realized it was time to upgrade. I also like that it has the feature to have a light bar. It was the first light bar the light accessory that I added to the 4Runner. So the tires that I have on my 4Runner are 285, 75, 17 Toyo Open Country mud terrains. And then my wheels are Method 305s, and I am also running a G2 1.5 spacer. So for my sliders, I have the C4 fabrication 4Runner sliders. I think they're super important, especially for someone like me that has a little bit of an offset on the tire. It really protects the body of the car from any rocks that are getting kicked up, any mud. I did a trail called Fins and Things in Moab, and I actually had a smaller tire at the time. And I remember that I just went downhill and the body of the vehicle caught a rock and the car just slid off of it on one side of it. And I was like, oh, thank God I had those sliders, because I don't think I would have been able to open my doors on the driver's side if it wasn't for the sliders. So the tent that I have on the 4Runner is the CVT mount hood, and I have the medium sized, and I also have the double channel. I chose the double channel because I like to have my setup be really quick, and I like to be able to fit all my bedding. So I have 4 pillows, 2 blankets, and my sleeping bag in there. So whenever I pop it open, I could just go in and go right to sleep. Whereas with some previous tents, I would have to like take my bedding out, put it back in, try to have someone to like hand all my stuff to. So I love that I can pop this open, be ready to go to bed, and when I'm ready to wake up, I could just close it right back up with all my bedding inside of it. My roof rack is a Sherpa Crestone, and it's an amazing roof rack. I've ran 2 other roof racks before, and this is the sturdiest by far. I have no noise up there. I have a pretty heavy tent up there, so it's perfect for the weight of the tent. So I have 5 LP6s made by Baja Design. I'm not totally sure, but I think it's over 100,000 lumens up there, which is pretty awesome. Like I mentioned before, I'm notorious for deciding to leave for a trip super late at night and arriving at my campsite really late. And it's nice to feel like you're driving in the daylight. My high clearance rear is the C4 Overland Series dual swing bumper. I love it. Once I got that on my car, I couldn't stop photographing it. It just totally changed the look of the car, made it more rugged. I wasn't squashing my exhaust anymore on rocks. My plastic bumper before I replaced this was completely cracked. It didn't even fit completely on the body of the vehicle because I'd hit it so many times. My favorite mods on my vehicle, this is tough because I love all of them and I use all of them. I have a rule where I don't buy something that I won't use. But it would have to be between my suspension or the dual swing bumper. My suspension on this truck is a Fox 2.5 DSC. Which I love because it has the adjustability for high speed and low speed. I could kind of tune in how stiff or soft I want it to be depending on what type of terrain I'm exploring. Next for the 4Runner is I've got some C4 skids coming. I'd like to upgrade my rear lights to some Baja Chase lights and some also Baja S2s on the rear of my bumper. I think it's time to re-gear it for sure, since adding all this armor has made it super heavy. All right, Yoda Force, I think that sums up most of my build. It's time for me and Kahlo to get back on the trails. If you want to follow along with more of our adventures, we go by Spirit Roamer on Instagram. See you on the next one.